Alright, hello everyone and welcome. This is Von Grayson speaking, and I'm about to start my first ever Total War recorded campaign for you guys. This campaign will be played out with Darth Mod version 5.0, and I will be playing as the nation Prussia. So, just getting a few the starting options set up. I always play with the no battle time limit. That way the computer can't just turtle me into oblivion, and I have no chance of beating him out in an area where he just wants to, say, camp a mountain or a fortress or something. Now that could come back to bite me, because that means I can't do the same thing right back to the computer, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It'll be also done on a campaign of very hard with a battle very hard. So we'll see how it goes. The recommended setting for this mod is only hard, but why not make things interesting? So without further ado, let's start this campaign. Okay, so what's going on here is the game always likes to give you a rundown of what it thinks would be in your best interest to do. And I tend to follow some of its advice while ignoring other parts. For Prussia, researching the superior military doctrine, as it says up here, that's pretty much a must-have in my opinion. Prussia is a very tiny nation at the beginning of its life, having only 2 territories in Brandenburg and East Prussia. They don't even own West Prussia, even though it has their name in it. And so having a superior drill doctrine allows them to take on much larger factions, such as Poland, Lithuania, who will, by the way, be most likely one of my chief adversaries in this campaign until they're eliminated, and they control a very large set of territories. So we'll go ahead and get the advisor out of the way. Let's see here, the Gregorian calendar. The game likes to give you historical events that happen. Most of these are ones that don't actually have any influence on the game. Some of them do, like when famous figures arrive on the battle in the world, like they'll show up in the campaign map sometimes. But the Gregorian calendar has no impact on me yet. So let's see what Prussia has for us. This is my starting rake. They are, for those of you from previous Total War titles, they are the spies slash assassins of the world. And they're pretty much worthless. They are very good at getting themselves killed a lot of the time. This other guy over here is my gentleman, and they can also serve as assassins, but they also act as sort of technological diplomats. Like, I could send him to another faction and try and trade or steal technologies from a faction. Or I can do exactly what I'm going to do right now, which is move him into this little town here that is upgraded as a college. And what colleges do is they allow you to research technologies at a faster rate, as well as they spawn you gentlemen, which you can then use to improve your research or go wreak havoc amongst the enemy and assassinate all his people. But gentlemen, if they go into these colleges, will pick up ancillaries and traits that allow them to research technologies faster. And here we see the list of researchable items. You have 3 tabs: military technology, philosophy, and industrial technology. I pretty much stick with military technology to begin with, because getting ahead as Prussia in military technology is invaluable, and I won't run into problems which will require me to research philosophy or industrial technologies for quite a while. So I'm going to start with I think I'm going to go ahead and start with the ring bayonet. And what the ring bayonet allows is, right now my infantry use what are called plug bayonets, and those are exactly what the name implies. In order to use them, my infantry have to plug their guns, and they cannot pull the plugs out of their guns. So once I've ordered them to put those bayonets in, they're effectively just swordsmen with guns that can't be fired. So it's pretty nice to be able to still use their guns, even though they've been into significant melee combat. So I have a few generals. Leopold von Anhalt-Dessau is sitting here in my capital. Walls are an expensive luxury at this time. I really cannot afford to build them. I'm going to go ahead and build some peasant farms. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking over what I can recruit here, and you'll notice, any of you who have already played Empire Total War, that the units I can recruit are different. And what they did in this mod was they reworked existing infantry, but also tried to give factions some specialized infantry to use that are faction specific. Your capital is also home to it's probably the best place to recruit units, and you're allowed to recruit many different kinds of units that you won't ever be able to recruit in other cities, or at least not for a very long time. So at the moment, I think I'm going to actually leave them be, because my first target can either be here in Poland and take their one of their main cities. Obviously, Poland, Lithuania, losing Poland becomes somewhat less of a factor, as it is one of their largest cities. But the other thing I could do is I could take this army and just go take West Prussia for myself. It's much less defended, which means an easier fight, and my 2 territories will be connected again. But I'm not really sure which one of those I want to do. So do my guys have cannons? Yes, they do have a unit of cannons. That's good. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and do the slightly crazy thing, and we're gonna go ahead and try for, well, shoot. Taking Poland would definitely hurt them, but I think the more sane thing to do here in turn 1 of the game, because Poland always, in my experience, stays fairly weak here, so I'll be able to turn right around and make a push for it relatively soon. But what I'm going to start with is I'm actually going to take the city of Gdansk.